Battery power may be the frontrunner to become the car technology of the future, but don't rule out the underdog hydrogen. That's the view of some major automakers, including BMW and Audi, which are developing hydrogen fuel cell passenger vehicle prototypes alongside their fleets of battery cars as part of preparations to abandon fossil fuels. They are hedging their bets, calculating that a change in political winds could shift the balance towards hydrogen in industry shaped by early mover Tesla's decision to take the battery-powered road to clean cars. Global Auto Hub Germany is in sharp focus. It is already betting billions on hydrogen fuel in sectors like steel and chemicals to meet climate targets, and closely fought elections this month could see the Greens enter the coalition government and further push the technology. BMW is hydrogen's biggest proponent among Germany's carmakers, charting a path to a mass market model around 2030. The company also has one eye on shifting hydrogen policies in Europe and in China, the world's largest car market. The Munich-based premium player has developed a hydrogen prototype car based on its X5 SUV, in a project already partly funded by the German government. VW's premium Audi brand told Reuters it had assembled a team of more than 100 mechanics and engineers who were researching hydrogen fuel cells on behalf of the whole Volkswagen Group, and had built a few prototype cars. Hydrogen is viewed as a sure bet by the world's biggest truck makers, such as Daimler Unit, Daimler Truck, Volvo Trucks, and Hyundai, because batteries are too heavy for long-distance commercial vehicles. Yet fuel cell technology, where hydrogen passes through a catalyst, producing electricity, is for now too costly for mass-market consumer cars. Cells are complex and contain expensive materials, and although refueling is quicker than battery recharging, infrastructure is more scarce. The fact that hydrogen is so far behind in the race to the affordable market also means even some champions of the technology, like Germany's Greens, favor prioritizing battery-powered passenger cars because they see them as the fastest way to reach their main goal of decarbonizing transport. The Greens do, however, back the use of hydrogen fuel for ships and planes and want to invest heavily in green hydrogen produced solely from renewable sources. Politics can be unpredictable though. Diesel went from saint to sinner following Volkswagen's Dieselgate emissions cheating scandal, which came to light in 2015. Some carmakers view hydrogen technology as an insurance policy as the EU targets an effective ban on fossil fuel cars from 2035. Last year Daimler said it would wind down production of the Mercedes-Benz GLC F-Cell, a hydrogen fuel cell SUV, but a source familiar with company plans said the project could easily be revived if the European Commission or a German government with green participation decide to promote hydrogen cars. For years Japanese carmakers Toyota, Nissan and Honda, and South Korea's Hyundai, were alone in developing and pushing hydrogen fuel cell cars, but now they have company. China is expanding its hydrogen fueling infrastructure, with several carmakers now working on fuel cell cars, including Great Wall Motor, which plans to develop hydrogen-powered SUVs. Read more. The EU wants to build more hydrogen fueling stations for commercial vehicles. Fitch Solutions auto analyst Joshua Cobb said the bloc was only likely to start pushing hydrogen passengers cars in 2 to 3 years' time, given it was still figuring out how to pay for its battery electric car push and how to obtain enough green hydrogen from renewable sources. But he added, it's not out of bounds to think if the German Greens come into power they could accelerate the push to adopt regulations favoring hydrogen fuel cell cars. BMW's Günther acknowledged hydrogen technology was too expensive to be viable for the consumer market today, but said costs would come down as trucking companies invested in the technology to bring fuel cell vehicles to market at scale. To demonstrate BMW's hydrogen X5 prototype, Günther took Reuters for a spin at 180 kilometers, 112 miles, per hour on the Autobahn near the carmaker's Munich headquarters and in a few minutes gave it enough fuel to run 500 kilometers using a hydrogen gas pump at a Total petrol station. VW's Audi unit might be researching fuel cells, for example, but Volkswagen Group CEO Herbert Diess has been scathing about hydrogen-powered cars. Speaking in his role as a member of the Hydrogen Council Business Group, which forecasts that hydrogen will power more than 400 million cars by 2050, Herbs said he was confident that now governments had set ambitious carbon reduction targets, they would push hydrogen alongside battery electric cars.